as a social media dream. Two internet icons, one drink, and a promise to change hydration forever. When Logan Paul and KSI unveiled Prime in January 2022, the internet froze. What began as a humble bottle of neon-colored liquid quickly became one of the fastest-growing consumer brands in modern history. A pop culture explosion wrapped in influencer power. Prime wasn't just a drink. It was a symbol of internet dominance, of youth culture, and of how virality could bend reality itself. But behind the glossy colors, celebrity endorsements, and billion-dollar valuations, the story of Prime would soon unravel into something darker, a tale of lawsuits, government scrutiny, and broken trust. This is the rise and fall of Prime, the $1.2 billion drink that lied to the world. To understand how Prime was born, we have to rewind to 2018. The year two of YouTube's biggest rivals changed the internet forever. Logan Paul and KSI. Once enemies, they had drawn millions of viewers into their boxing matches, turning internet beef into global spectacle. Their fight at Manchester Arena and later in Los Angeles redefined what it meant to be an influencer. But after the dust settled, something bigger emerged. They realized they didn't need to fight each other. They could fight the market together. In 2021, the pair quietly began developing a beverage brand aimed at dethroning sports drink giants like Gatorade and Powerade. Their idea? A zero-sugar, electrolyte-filled, better-for-you hydration drink for a generation that no longer trusted corporate brands. Prime Hydration was officially launched in January 2022. Co-founded by Logan Paul, KSI, and backed by Congo Brands, a company already known for influencer-led products like Alani Nu and 3D Energy. The name Prime was chosen deliberately, symbolizing peak performance, prime condition, and being the best version of yourself. Within days, the drink sold out online. Within weeks, it was on shelves across the United States. But the real story wasn't just the product, it was the marketing. Logan and KSI didn't need billboards or TV ads. They had something far more powerful, a combined audience of over 100 million followers across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. They understood the psychology of hype better than any traditional brand. Instead of running ads, they created moments. KSI handed out bottles at events. Logan Paul teased limited drops. Kids lined up for hours at supermarkets just to touch a bottle. It was influencer culture at its most potent form. FOMO-driven, viral, and perfectly timed with the TikTok explosion. Retailers couldn't keep up. The drink became a cultural phenomenon. In the UK, police were called to supermarkets after stampedes broke out over limited stock Prime bottles. In the US, resellers were flipping them online for 10 times the retail price. It was chaos, and it was gold for marketing. What made Prime truly unstoppable wasn't the drink itself. It was what it represented. Every color, every flavor drop, every collab, from the Metamoon edition to KSI's Lemonade, was a masterclass in influencer storytelling. Fans weren't buying hydration, they were buying belonging. Owning a bottle became a badge of fandom. Kids brought them to school as status symbols. The duo even released Prime Energy, a high-caffeine version targeting gym culture and gamers, and that's where the first cracks began to show. By 2023, Prime Energy had become as viral as the hydration line, but for all the wrong reasons. While Prime Hydration was sugar-free and marketed as a healthier alternative, Prime Energy contained a whopping 200 milligrams of caffeine per can, the same as 6 cans of Coca-Cola or 2 Red Bulls. That might sound fine for adults, but the drink's marketing reached kids. Its packaging was nearly identical to the hydration bottles. Its promotions featured the same influencers who appealed to a teenage audience. By mid-2023, parents and schools across the US, UK, and Australia began raising alarms. Reports surfaced of children consuming multiple cans, unaware of the caffeine content. Then, in July 2023, US Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer publicly called for the FDA to investigate Prime Energy, labeling it a potential health hazard for kids.
The summer's hottest status symbols for kids is not an outfit, it's not a toy, it's a beverage. But buyer and parents beware, because it's a serious health concern for the kids it so feverishly targets.
The statement sparked a national debate. Suddenly, Prime wasn't just a cool drink, it was a potential threat. The FDA responded, confirming that while Prime met labeling requirements for adults, the concern was marketing overlap, that it could easily confuse younger consumers. In Canada, Health Canada went further, recalling Prime Energy in July 2023 due to excessive caffeine levels under local regulations. Retailers began pulling cans from shelves. In Australia, importers faced penalties for selling the product without proper labeling approvals. Prime issued statements clarifying that the energy line was intended for ages 18 plus, but by that time, the narrative had already turned. Parents were furious. Schools banned the drink outright. Even some longtime fans began questioning the brand's ethics. The internet, the same machine that built Prime, was now beginning to turn against it. In true influencer fashion, Logan Paul and KSI doubled down. They appeared together in new videos defending the drink, emphasizing transparency, and celebrating their success against the haters. But the damage was already leaking through. Headlines about lawsuits, recalls, and caffeine warnings began stacking up. Then came the Refresco controversy. In late 2023, the Refresco Group, one of the world's largest beverage manufacturers and a key producer for Prime, was sued for allegedly violating food safety and labeling laws in the US. While Prime itself wasn't directly accused, the story reignited public fears over how the drink was being made and distributed. Suddenly, the once shiny influencer-led dream began looking like just another overhyped, underregulated consumer product. By early 2024, Prime was still selling. But something had changed. The viral hysteria was gone. The lines outside stores, gone. The endless TikToks of kids hunting for bottles, gone. In their place were comment sections filled with criticism. Videos about caffeine, recalls, and lawsuits outperformed Prime's own ads. Influencer culture had turned inward. The same creators who once praised Prime were now calling it a scam, a cash grab, or worse, a marketing illusion. The empire that once dominated youth marketing was now being questioned at every turn, and the numbers started showing it. By mid-2024, Nielsen 1Q data revealed slowing growth for Prime across major markets. Sales were flattening in the US and Europe, and competition from new influencer drinks, including ventures by creators like MrBeast and Jake Paul, began eating into their market share. What had once been a cultural juggernaut was now fighting to stay relevant. But the most revealing signs of trouble weren't in sales reports, they were in courtrooms and regulatory filings. Because what started as an influencer dream had now attracted the attention of governments, regulators, and even medical institutions. If you walk into a supermarket today, you might still see Prime bottles on the shelf. Bright, clean, promising hydration. But behind that label lies a story that changed internet marketing forever. A story of two creators who turned rivalry into empire. Of a drink that promised health but sold illusion. And of a generation that learned once again that hype doesn't hydrate and influence can't replace integrity. Prime didn't die because people stopped drinking it. It died because people stopped believing it. This has been Mindtrace 360. Thank you for staying with us as we continue to build this community. Subscribe, share, and let's keep exploring the stories that shape our world.